All right. It is hard to believe that we've come to the end of the conference. During this final session, we have a special activity for you to participate in. Before we start, I'd like to take a few moments to reflect on all the good things that have happened over these past 3 days and thank those people who have made this entire experience possible. We have had an incredible lineup of speakers for our conference. I mean, just look at this list. We had the opportunity to hear from just such a wide array of experts. Each speaker brought unique insights into the field of first episode psychosis through information from shared research, clinical skills, assessment, and lived experience. All of our speakers, again, I'm looking at this list and it just really makes my heart big. All of our speakers share a deep level of care and compassion in the work that they do. And I believe that was evident in all of their presentations. We're so thankful to have such wonderful people as experts for our conference. And it was an honor hearing about their commitment to others and their commitment to helping to strengthen our workforce by sharing their knowledge. They are inspirational. So thank you to all of our amazing speakers. Next, I want to take a moment to thank our MHTTC Network Coordinating Office. What had originally started out as a regionally planned conference for our first episode teams, it became something so much bigger and more impressive than we could have possibly imagined with this conference. So for us to be able to support a virtual conference this size, we received Zoom technical support from the MHTTC Network Coordinating Office. So all of the Zoom webinars that you participated in were arranged by this amazing group of people. Dr. Heather Gotham, the director of the MHTTC NCO, and her team, Jessica Gonzalez and Ricky Canello, have been extremely helpful, kind, just professional in their support of this project. And we're just really deeply, extremely grateful for their help. This right here, this is really an important list to look at. This is our conference planning committee. As Dr. Molly Lopez had mentioned in her welcome video, our planning committee has been working on this project since back in December. This right here, this list, this is the group of people who are the architects behind the entire development of this event. Without their dedication and hard work, this conference would have never been possible. And what's really special about this group is that they stood steadfast in their goals of this event. Our planning committee had sought to really develop a conference that allowed FEP teams a chance to connect, to get to know each other, learn from one another, and share innovative ideas. While COVID had us change our forum for the conference, it didn't stop us from working to achieve a space that allowed for people to come together to meet this goal of connection. I also want to point out that many of our committee members were hosts, chat box volunteers, and Q&A subject matter experts during the conference. And they did a tremendous job. They were just amazing. So very, very good group of people. So kudos to this group. Next, I want to take a moment and extend thanks and deep gratitude for our Southwest MHTTC team. This is an exceptional group of people. Each person here that you see listed has gone above and beyond to help make this event a success. There are a lot of moving parts to make a large project come together, and this team has made it happen. I want to especially thank Glenn Dabowski and Zatara Lumen. Really, let's take a moment. This is like big, because together they have been fielding all of the questions that come into our tech support emails. So if you've sent any questions to our contact email, then you have gotten the chance to work with Glenn and Zatara, and they are wonderful. They're consummate professionals who work hard to make sure folks have their needs met, and I'm greatly indebted to them. I want to give a special thank you to Brianna Rodriguez and Christine Vo. Brianna and Christina are our public relations team, and they've done a tremendous job with their social media and communication skills. Special shout out, Brianna created our virtual exhibit hall, I think, which turned out beautifully. And I hope you have enjoyed looking at that and getting to know other resources. And a huge thank you to Dr. Molly Lopez. Molly is a visionary. Her compassion and advocacy for others drives our projects and initiatives for workforce development. She's our North Star, and she really then pushes our team towards success and trusts in us as a group to really make things happen, but she's the best. So I want to point that out. Lastly, I'm deeply honored to thank those people at the heart of this conference, and that is all of you. On behalf of our planning committee and our South-Southwest MHTTC team, we are so grateful to all of you for attending. We could not have imagined a better group of people participating in our inaugural virtual conference experience. Over the past 3 days, I have watched as we have all come together as a community over this virtual platform while being physically miles and miles away from each other. This is new for all of us, and you were flexible, you were open, you're engaged, you used the chat box, you asked excellent questions in the Q&A pod, and were outspoken during networking sessions. Your comments on the activity feed and through social media were awesome. You used humor and inspiration, and you showed grace when there were technical issues. It was all of you who made this entire experience a success. So thank you to each and every one of you for your participation. I really mean that. All right, so our takeaways and next steps. Again, our hope for the conference was to allow folks to connect, learn, and grow. What did we learn? What were our takeaways? We learned that we can form a community even though we're apart, and that there's strength in this connection. You did this here in this forum, and you're doing that out there in the communities that you serve, and that you also recognize the value of this connection. I think we've learned to find ways to be innovative and to reach out then to those that we serve in meaningful ways. We've learned the importance of early identification and intervention with signs and symptoms of psychosis. So we need to keep up the dialogue and the narrative with those that we work with to ensure that we're asking the right questions to engage with others. We learned the importance of communication, compassion, and being genuine. We learned that we can take our fundamental understandings of FEP and we can build and we can evolve. We learned the importance of team, of peers, of family involvement for successful outcomes. We heard excellent speakers who shared their tools and visionary insights for future growth. And we've used this time to gain fresh perspective and feel energized in our work ahead. So even though this is the conclusion of our conference, it is now just the beginning of our way forward. So I want to thank you so much for this time. And at this time, I would like to pass the stage to Dr. Molly Lopez, who is going to lead us in our next activity. And Molly, you can let me know if you want me to stop sharing or however you'd like me to proceed.
Yes, I think if you'll stop sharing, and I have to say, wow, really hard to follow that. For sure, that was incredibly motivational. Thank you, Jennifer. As I think everybody probably can tell, Jennifer is really the architect of this and has been at the helm really supporting this process for, like we said, like 8 months. So it's exciting to see it reach this point. One of the things that we sort of set out to do in the beginning was to recognize the amount of knowledge and expertise that everybody who's here today brings and to try and harvest that. So we've done that in our networking meetings. We've done that through the chat box and all of the resources that you all shared. And we have one last way we want to try and do that and harvest your expertise. We are going to try out something that's kind of new to us. We have this new toy we want you to participate in. It's called Thought Exchange. And so I'm going to walk you through. It's going to be very easy, but I'm going to walk you through how we're going to do this. So it's an interactive activity and it uses crowdsourcing platform called Thought Exchange. And it really has 3 basic steps. The first one is share. And during this step, you're going to share your thoughts independently and anonymously in response to the one question we're going to put in front of you. So you're going to share your thoughts independently and anonymously, step one. Step two is called STAR. And this is where we're going to rate the thoughts of others. It's going to be a little bit like Yelp. You're going to get used to it. It's going to be super easy. And then three is discover. And that's where we all get to see what some of the most important thoughts and ideas are to the group as a whole. Okay, so in a moment, you're going to be able to participate. I am going to put up a QR code on the screen, and I will also drop a link into the chat box so you can get to it in different ways. You don't need to download anything. You don't have to download an app or even sign in to participate. Once you're in the exchange, you're going to be asked to share at least 3 to 5 thoughts. If you'd like to, you can provide more. Basically, there's going to be a question that you're going to be asked, and you're going to share a thought that you have. You can add a little justification to the bottom if you want, or you don't have to. And then when you're done with that, you're going to shift over and rate at least 20 or 30 thoughts for other people. It's going to go really quick. You're going to read their thoughts and just rate the degree to which you agree, from 5 being strongly agree, the most stars, yay, 5. 1 being, I don't really agree with this, not so much my thing, okay? Again, it's totally anonymous. And I really encourage you to use the full range of stars, because that's going to give us the opportunity to reflect the group's priorities. We're not going to hurt people's feelings. It's not going to be something they're going to go back through and see who said what about what. Remember, it's confidential, so your identity is not known to anyone or associated with your thoughts or your stars, etc. All right, so I'm going to start this up, and you are going to see here our QR code. If you want to go that way, you just hover over the QR code with your phone, and that will bring you in. I am going to also share in the chat very quickly. Excuse me while I try to make my system work here. Sorry about that. So if you prefer, you can just click on that link to get into it. And then lastly, you can also, sorry, excuse me just a second while I find my place again. Okay, so I'm gonna give people a second to kind of find their way in there, either through the link in the box or by hovering over our QR code. We're gonna start our timer. So remember, first we're gonna identify our thoughts. Next, we are going to rate the thoughts of others. And then we will pause. So we'll have 8 minutes to do that. And I will give you a little cue if you haven't moved on to rating when to do so. Keep going. I'm going to move to share this little part that kind of shows all of the people in our thought exchange, and the little boxes are the ideas that folks are sharing. And as they rate those ideas, you're seeing them kind of come together and get connected between people and between ideas. We have a few people kind of on the outside that are starting to look probably and starting to think about sharing ideas. And as they share them, they're going to get connected in as well. Okay. Wow. It's interesting to kind of watch that network of people and thoughts interacting. It's kind of amazing, I think. All right. So in our last few minutes, I want to kind of look a little bit at what we were able to do within that. One of the things that we have decided to do as a result of all of this great work is to put together something at the end of the conference that harvests some of the great ideas that came up through our networking events, through our chat room discussions, as well as through this activity. So expect that you're going to get some feedback from this as a result. But one of the things that we're able to do through Thought Exchange is to look at some of the comments the thoughts that were most highly rated and most important to the most individuals. So I want to kind of do that. So here we've got the idea, client rapport is one of the most important elements of treatment. That needs to be sort of at the forefront. And that's really echoed in this next comment as well about connection, the importance of connection. And of course, the importance of listening to clients and really addressing their priorities, which is certainly an important part of connection as well. We have a number of comments about the importance, the important value of peers and the value of lived experience in the work that we're doing. Also highly rated is information about systemic racism and how that plays out in the work that we do in early psychosis in many different ways. We've also got thoughts in here about how important it is to come with the value that everyone can recover and that no one should be written off as unable to recover in that way. Also highly rated the importance of family involvement and participation, as well as communication with family members to really support their involvement. The importance of intentional peer support, and some resources have been shared about that in some of our chat rooms as well. I'm going to hit just a couple more. There's great ones here, and we're going to share them with you. The importance of utilizing an individual's psychosis and listening to it instead of just trying to end symptoms as a focus. And then I'll leave with this one, that we want to meet clients where they are, to not push them to talk about things they don't want to, and to really truly focus on engagement. So thank you all again for taking the opportunity to kind of bring your expertise from what you took away from this conference to our broader group. We look forward to putting this together for you so you can continue to have all of that information and hopefully continue to think back about what you learned while you're at the conference and what you can take back to your team and what you can take back to your work, because that's where we want to see the impact, of course, right, is with the young people and the families that you all are working with. So again, from the bottom of our hearts, from our planning committee, our conference committee, we really appreciate your participation. You've been a wonderful group to work with, and we hope that we're able to continue to have conversations with you about this. Thank you so much.